Hey everybody, welcome to a legacy video. I am back from Eternal Weekend in Paris. That was awesome. I got 13th in legacy and 2nd in vintage. Hopefully, this is my legacy deck. Hopefully my vintage deck will be up in a video soon. I caught a bit of a sniffle on the way back, so if my voice seems a little weak or goes out during this video, I'm sorry, but I'm doing my best. So this is the 75 I played in Paris. And my two losses were to H.J. Goddick, who ended up winning the tournament, and to a guy who got disqualified 2 rounds later for having marked cards. So that's feels a little bad. Feels like I was closer than would be indicated, but it was a good run. The one change that I know I want to make, I don't think we need 2 Veil of Summers in the main deck anymore. I like 2 in the 75 because Storm is still out there, but I want to change one of them to Savine's Reclamation. This is just such a hammer of a card. All of our good things cost 3 or less. Like, all of our permanents except Jace cost 3 or less. So Savine's Reclamation just rebuys your best threat or gets 2 things in the mid game. So sideboard should look pretty standard. Palace Jailer for the grindy matchups. Gideon for when they're good at killing creatures. Rest in Peace Containment Priest. Pretty stacked against combo here with the Pyroblast, Veil of Summer, Wear Tear, Containment Priest, Rest in Peace, Surgical, because the main deck should crush most fair decks, fair and square. But otherwise, this is a pretty standard Mentor deck. The big thing, I played a deck like this at GP Atlanta, and the problem was it didn't really have any 2-drops at the time. It was Jeskai, and like Coatl wasn't in the deck, so the 2-drops just looked like this. And Snapcaster Mage isn't really a 2-drop. Like, this is at least a 3-drop if you want to get any value. So, Coatl filling in that spot, now that we're Bant for Oko, is such a big deal. So, I really like that we have action now. We have 6 flash threats against the control mirrors or combo decks. I really like where this deck is positioned. Let's go play some matches with it. Alright, so we're paired for round 1. We're on the draw against JPA93, who is a known show and tell wizard most of the time. We have 1 point of interaction and a force of negation, but this hand is not great otherwise. I'm going to mulligan. This hand it doesn't have any interaction, but I like its ability to draw cards a lot better. Maybe he's just not playing show and tell somehow, but I doubt it. Yeah, so I'll lead on Astrolabe. Alright, he shuffled his deck with Ponder. That's exciting, I hope. Spell Pierce is nice if we get another turn. Oh no, he's just slamming. Wow, that's aggro. Alright. Alright, so I'm going to Swords to Plowshares this with Spell Pierce backup. Yeah, that's the problem with Grizzlebrand. It just draws a bunch of cards. Yeah, we're definitely dead. Just fearlessly jammed the turn 2. I wonder if that Force Negation hand would have just wrecked him. Alright, so this would be a pretty, like, bad brainstorm here in general, but maybe I need to? No, I'll just see what happens. Alright, so he's got to have another Emrakul, because he has the sneak attack, and he discarded 1 Emrakul already. Yeah, we're just dead. I mean, I could try to Oko the Grizzlebrand, but the way he played that, he has Emrakul. Alright, let's stack up this sideboard. Pyroblast. I like Palace Jailer. Containment Priest, obviously great. I like Wear Tear or Return to Nature. I'm going to decide which one in a minute. And I might want Surgical Extraction. Probably not, but let's see how this lines up. Jace is too slow. Reclamation's too slow. I guess Veil of Summer is also in the maybe pile. Alright, so Teferi's really great in this matchup. We can go a little lower on Mentor. I still like having them to turn the corner. You need to leave in some number of Swords to Plowshares for Arcane Artisan, because that card is sidesteps all the rest of our hate. Oko is probably too slow. Coatl's good. I like having all my flash threats available. So right now we get one more of these cards. Probably Return to Nature is slightly more valuable. Palace Jailer, basically... Jailer might be worse than some other options, because Jailer's only good if they resolve Show and Tell and if they put in a monster. And even if they do, like if it's Grizzlebrand, they get to draw 14 still before it gets exiled. Alright, maybe Oko is just too bad all around. Veil is pretty good. No, Veil is good at defending my stuff. It's not good at stopping his stuff. Alright, this is what I'm going to do. Alright, so we have this juicy no-lander on the play. I'm going to mulligan that, obviously. A one-lander. I'll keep this and get rid of Teferi. We could definitely just die here, but I hope we don't. I would really like to just like find my land drop off this Astrolabe and just start deploying Coatls at flash speed. Opponent's on 6. Bummer. Well, all three of these cards are good, but we can't keep them. Yikes. Sometimes you keep the hand with one land that sees 5 cards and just don't find a land. We're very dead. Oh yes, some science. Aha, we found Force of Will. Can't counter that one. Alright. Yeah, just dead. Alright, that was pretty unsatisfying. If we find land and have Pyroblast, then that's something. Oh well. Alright, so it's round 2. We're on the play. I'm actually going to keep this. It's pretty mana heavy, but I keep most hands that can cast Astrolabe on turn 1. Astrolabe's just like really important to your development, and the cantrip is nice. We can just cycle Veil of Summer against most decks also, if it comes to that. Which I hope it doesn't. I'm using Scalding Tarn first because I have a Forest and a Plains in my deck, but I don't have a Mountain. So since I'm just getting Island anyway, I'm using the land that I won't need for any other basics. Oh dear, we've been unmasked. Should have held up Veil of Summer. Alright, so we're probably playing against Reanimator or Dredge. Those are the only decks that play on Mask. What they take here will tell me a lot about what they're up to. And it's got to be Swords of Plowshares. Yep, confirmed. It's pretty awkward that I had my one of Veil of Summer that would have blown their life. But Just didn't know that I should leave it up. Alright, we found a Coatl. Now we have Veil, but that won't matter if they just just reanimate something. Oh, unmask again? They did know about this one. Oh wow, that's so lucky. The 2 cards they don't know about are Force Blue card. Get wrecked. Welcome to that. Alright, so I'm going to slam Oko into play. I'm going to use one of my fetch lands just to hide a little information. It probably doesn't really matter though, honestly. Should be safe to fetch dual lands against this deck, so I'll just make sure I have my colors. Alright, let's start beating down. It should be hard for them to win from here. I guess if they get Grizzlebrand into play, draw 14, and then do a bunch of stuff. Alright. Them missing on that turn was big, because now they can't draw 14. They can only draw 7. But Oko can elk any monster they put into play. Remember that time they shoved Unmask into my Veil of Summer that they knew about? That was insane. Alright, now the Elk beats. They take 6 now, they take 6 next turn. They have to win right now through a Swords to Plowshares and an Oko. I guess Plow would buy them a lot of time. But Grizzlebrand can't even draw cards anymore. They can't cast Reanimate because they're at 6. Yep. That was a fortunate series of draws. Alright, we stole game 1. Pretty sure we shouldn't have won that game, but we did. Alright, so Veil of Summer is very good here. Surgical, Rest in Peace, and Containment Priest are all good here. The rest of these cards, not so much. Alright, so Jace is too slow. Snapcast. We're bringing in Rest in Peace, so we have to cut some of our graveyard stuff. Mentor can be a little slow too. I like leaving them in again. I like having at least 1 in against combo decks, depending on what combo they are. I sometimes leave in up to 3. But it can be slow. Supreme Verdict, probably not what I'm interested in. Especially on the draw. Like, I don't think there's going to be a turn 4 where I'm still alive to cast this. I'm either not going to need it or I'm going to be dead already, is what I'm saying. All the Force of Will stay in. I like the flash threats. Oko, despite dominating that last game, also a little wonky. Bring in all these things. That looks pretty good to me. Let's do it. Alright, so this hand has a lot of stuff in it, but it's not good enough. Alright, this hand is... Oh, no, there's no blue card. Our opponent kept 7, though, so that means that they can make a monster. I think we just have to mulligan again. Oh, it's getting worse. I'll keep this one because I can Swords to Plowshares. So I can at least answer something. Alright, they had Chancellor. Chancellor plus looting, huh? Okay, so it looks like they have a turn 1 monster with Chancellor. That's why it's important to take game 1. Because they can do this when they're on the play. Oh no, I've been unmasked. I took my plow. Oh god. Alright, so this one's looking pretty grim. Not gonna lie to you, team. So I basically have to take my beats here, draw exactly Swords to Plowshares. Hope they can't make another monster right in between. But I'm sure they can. Like, how could they not? There's got to be, like, land exhume in that 15 card hand somewhere. Okay. 7 plus 5 is 12, and my fetch makes 13. That's my life total. I am dead. Alright, so that can happen sometimes, is what it is. Let's get back in there with the same deck and try not to mull to 5. Alright, so we have a perfectly playable 7, but playable isn't good enough, like I said last game. We need, like, real interaction. Alright, I'll keep a Spell Pierce. This hand has some mana problems, though, that I'm not a fan of. I really wish that was a fetch land so I could Veil of Summer. Nope. Hopefully that just crushes their whole plan. Uh-oh. You just have a monster animate. Why just Entomb Reanimate? Holy shit. Wow, okay. So their hand was completely incredible and not remotely reasonable. So we need to draw Astrolabe, and it has to cantrip into Swords to Plowshares, basically. This works too. Alright, that doesn't work. We're dead. Alright, so our opponent's hand was just off the charts nuts. It had Faithless Looting plus turn 1 monster. What are you going to do? That's magic. I actually think these combo deck matchups are fine. We've just been absolutely shithoused twice in a row by the shove-in Show and Tell and Black-Red Reanimator. But I'm fine playing against those matchups in general. Just rough times so far in this league. Alright, we won the die roll. I'm going to keep this hand. I can hold up Veil of Summer on turn 1. I hope they're another all-in combo deck, because this hand's really good against that. They're probably like Delver, though. Alright, they're a Tundra deck. Tundra and Delver? Wow. What year is it? I wonder if this is like a Delver Blade deck. Do those still exist? So we're looking for removal now. None of these are helpful. Alright, there's the plow. Alright, we can take our time to work into that. I'm not going to crack it off now, because I really don't want to have to force a Will of Days. Which is what I'd have to do if they had it here. The super awkward part about drawing Volcanic Island, there's no red cards in the main deck. So I would just prefer that to be the strictly better basic island here. And if I want to cast Swords to Plowshares with Veil of Summer backup at any point, then I'm going to have to fetch either basic forest. Like, I'm going to have to fetch, unless I draw Flooded Strand to fetch basic plains, then I'll have to fetch Tundra with one of these, and then I have to fetch Tropical Island or Basic Forest with the other. And Basic Forest only casts Veil of Summer or Astrolabe. So, definitely feeling it on the 4-color mana base here. Yeah, the difference between having and not having Astrolabe is just bananas. And I'm glad this flooded strand is not wasteland, though. At least we dodged that much. Oh, they're Bant Delver. I bet Oko's in this deck. Alright, they did not shuffle. Oh good, another Force of Will. Just what I needed. Let's hope they force this. Nope, bummer. They're smart. I have so many forces in my hand. I need a brainstorm pretty desperately. There's the wasteland to just send us into the Stone Age. I'm currently deciding if I should cycle Veil of Summer, just fire it off in their end step for a fresh card, or if it's going to get better than that. I think I might just have to snap it off. Please don't have Stifle. Alright, all my dual lands have been drawn this game. Alright, we found Brainstorm though, that's good. Okay, this hand just improved a lot. We got rid of Force of Negation because I'm mostly scared of creatures out of them. But I kept the 2 Force of Wills because they're at least as useful as lands. And I don't want to pitch Snapcaster Mage if I do force something. Alright, so we got some new life off that Brainstorm. I have 2 more removal spells lined up, plus a counter spell. If they cast like Oko with Force back up here, we're probably in lots of trouble. Okay, cool. They had half of my concern. Ooh. Alright, so I'll float that Plow on top. I'm not sure if I need it yet, but I'd be pretty fine shuffling it away. Oh no, they reclaimed it. Alright, so do I snap Brainstorm in response? I'm gonna snap Brainstorm anyway. I'll let that resolve. Right now all they can do is make a food with it. Alright, so I can pressure them in the end step with this Snapcaster, and then untap and Mentor. It's kind of funny that like them elking my Astrolabe seems like it would get me ahead on board, but I'm actually just like terrified of them doing that. Because then my mana doesn't work anymore. Where's the Plowshares? Okay. I would really like to find like Ponder or something to get some action with the Mentor. Alright, Astrolabe counts. Oh, but I can't just jam Mentor because then they can steal it with Oko. Alright, I'll put these 2 back. Now we're in an ugly little Oko fight. And playing Astrolabe to get through my deck and keep my colors on is more important than saving it to trigger Mentor. Alright, so Elk combat begins now. They have this freaking Savine's Reclamation, though. God, this card's so good. I want to draw that one. I guess I don't. I don't have anything to do with it. But I'm glad it's in my deck. Eventually, this Oko is going to be in the graveyard, probably. Stoneforge Mystic also in this deck. That's not surprising. That's a good white card. Alright, they have the Bee Skull in their hand. Oh, I only have one white source with this Astrolabe. Unless I draw, like, exactly Flooded Strand, because my Tundra's already gone. Like, I have to fetch basic planes to Mentor plus Plow. That sucks. I'm gonna main phase this snake. Just trying to get through my deck, have some more options. Alright. Found the plains. So what happens now? So I can plow this, kill their Oko. I hope this is the one that was in play already. Alright, so they have Batterskull and 2 unknowns in their hand. Oh no. Is this Snapcaster Mage? That would be really good. Alright, it is Snapcaster Mage. Alright, so they want to just trade Okos off because they have Reclamation and I don't. That makes sense. Alright, let's draw a spell to trigger Mentor with. That's what I'm actually interested in. Like Swords to Plowshares off the top would be great, or like Ponder into Plow. Or just Oko. So I could play Mentor and just have Force back up, because they're probably going to go for Reclamation next turn. This is actually really interesting. So if I cast Oko, I'm going to go for the Mentor. I just hope that their hand isn't Force Blue card. Oh, it is. Shit, we're dead. Alright, so they force Mentor. So I have to let that happen because I need to force Savine's Reclamation. That's more important. I'm honestly not sure how this card works. Oh god. Well, that was bad. They drew something even better than Savine's Reclamation. Let's pick off this Germ. Blocking that is the same as blocking the food, as far as what resources we lose. Alright, they can re-equip Batterskull. That sucks a lot. But we did draw an answer to Reclamation. And I'm going to block the food. And hope I draw a snake or a plow. And just dead. Their deck's really sweet. It's like mine, except they have Delvers instead of Mentors. They're a little lower to the ground. But they also have Jace. I love decks with Jace and Delver in them. Pyroblast probably pretty good. I might not want all three, but I want some. They didn't show me a Daze at all. I'm not sure if they could have Daze in a Jace deck. I guess you can do whatever you want. Whether it's good or not is a different story. Yeah, I guess I do need every Pyroblast available because they're an Oko deck. We didn't see any Astrolabes, did we? Could I Blood Moon them out? Could happen. Reclamation was really good for them. I gotta cut one more card here. Maybe it's just Mentor. On the play, I don't know if I'd want to cut a Mentor. Maybe it's fine. Bringing in Jailer. Alright, let's do this. Another 0 lander. Ship it. Alright, this one's a keep. Force of Will is going straight to the bottom. Alright, they're on 7. So we saw Wasteland, but not Daze in game 1. Ooh. Hierarch. I'm fine aggro plowing that, because I can't plow the Oko that they're going to cast off it on turn 2. Return to nature. Bummer. Wrecked. Alright, I'm not just going to shove Mentor into removal. I'll save it till I can just cast any spell, but I have Coatl this turn. Finding like Astrolabe or Ponder in the next draw step would be pretty great. Oh, Jesus. Their deck's full of good cards. Ooh, so's mine. We're gonna have an old-fashioned Teferi fight. Red Blast was a good draw, though. I think I just cast Mentor and then Red Blast them. No, I Red Blast and then Teferi. I guess I need white mana in there, don't I? Alright, do they have Daze? Alright, they do not actually have Daze. I'm going to bounce this to draw some extra cards. They haven't shown me red mana for Lightning Bolt or anything. It's Oko time. I have the Red Blast for that. I know it's going to work because it's a fairy. So they have Oko plus Plow. I guess that doesn't even matter because I have Plow. Jace kind of sucks. Yeah, they're in slam their things into play mode because I was ahead. I don't know if I'm even ahead anymore. Ponder. Oh, that's not Ponder. Definitely attacking Jace. I'm gonna Coatl right now and see what happens. I don't need 2 mentors. Alright, let's see if I can just win next turn. You just Blood Moon them out with Teferi. Five mana spell. Is it Batterskull? Swords to Plowshares. Floating lots of mana. And Palace Jailer. Alright, that's serious. I can ponder in response here. Alright, so I think we're just gonna win. So I'm not gonna shuffle. I'm gonna let them become the Monarch. And then I'll Mentor plus Blood Moon. We should be able to get the Monarch back pretty quick. That basic Plains is a beating though. Surprise Blood Moon with my 4 non-basic lands in play. Oh no, I was like, oh no, they have red cards, but no, I just Blood Moon them. Oh, Reclamation targeting Teferi, that's rough. That one basic land they found right on time. So they can bounce both my creatures if they want. They lose Jace by doing that. They could also bounce Blood Moon and then try to play fair. But if I get the Monarch, they just die. Because there's a snake in exile, right? So if I take the Monarch, I draw a card right away. Alright, there's one answer. So they have to brainstorm into White Source Swords to Plowshares here. Alright, so we're going to become the Monarch. It kind of sucks because I have to deal damage to them to become the Monarch. So they get to keep their Jace for a turn. I'm still doing it. I'll get another basic into play. before I Blood Moon. I guess I should Mentor and then Blood Moon, huh? Get rid of that while they can't do anything about it. Neither of us can play spells on the other player's turn. It's just full Hearthstone right now. Let's see, who can Hearthstone harder? I have Monastery Mentor. They have Jace. I feel pretty far ahead. But I guess it depends on... I guess they can flashback Savine's Reclamation, get back Oko, and a land. Alright, no, they've decided they're dead. Good call. Alright, so maybe I need more Force of Wills than I want to play. They have a lot of Planeswalkers, but my Pyroblast... No, I just upgraded them into Pyroblast, never mind. Mentor is really good. That should come as no surprise because the card is Busto. Deciding if I'm going to make any changes here. I might want my Jace back now that they've shown me that they are very much a Planeswalker control deck. Like, I don't even know if they kept their Delvers in after Game 1. Did they just go big for Game 2? Are they going to go small again now that they're on the play? There's a lot of interesting dynamics in this matchup. I think I'm just going to leave everything how it is. Just do it again. Alright, we have a perfectly keepable hand here. Alright, let's see if they Spell Pierce my Astrolabe. Nope. Alright, it's in. That's half the battle. Brainstorm. Alright, that's fine. I was a little worried about them going like aggro Stoneforge Mystic because I don't have a good plan for that right now. Is this Delver? It's got to be Delver or Bonder. Carpet. Bummer. Yeah, this card has really been showing up in Legacy a lot, just as like an advantage in blue mirrors. Which is like really interesting. I'm not sure if I buy it, but it certainly seems powerful. Yuck. Alright, so it's a lot of Teferis. Unfortunately, I am required to play this land. So we'll just juice up there. I'm going to ponder now to clear this extra junk out of here. Because I'm going to need some land drops. As much as I would have liked to leave a Pyroblast. It's not meant to be. Even if they do just like shove Jace here, I can Pyroblast it from play. Narset, bummer. Sylvan Library. Whoa. Alright, Spell Pierce was a very timely draw. Because now I can kill Narset for sure and protect it. Alright, so Mentor, I'm going to want that next turn. Don't need another basic land. I have a ton of ponders. I'm gonna get basic forest. Like, I could leave up Spell Pierce, but with that carpet, it's not reliable. Like, I can't Spell Pierce the Sylvan Library. They have Noble Hierarch. They'd have to cast a card that costs 4. It's like exactly Jace that I could Spell Pierce. Nemesis. Okay. Haven't seen that one yet, but I'm not surprised it's in the deck. All of my Supreme Verdicts are in the deck right now. Alright, well, the way they sequenced that, Spell Pierce would have worked, but oh well. Get basic planes. Let's just challenge my opponent to a race. The classic True Name Nemesis versus Monastery Mentor battle. The great thing about these basics is that they're also not islands. Wow. They let Mentor resolve, but force the Ponder. Interesting. Guess they're just like really worried about Veil of Summer. Looks like they can get, cast, and equip Jitte all at the same time right now. That's brutal. Alright, so Mentor's going to die here. I can turn Jitte into an Elk, but the damage will be done. I'd really like to draw Supreme Verdict. Supreme Verdict? It's not Supreme Verdict. Sorry, we still have Oko. I guess I need blue to cast Oko. Alright, turn Jitte into an Elk. Alright, now we really need Supreme Verdict. We're still dying to this Sylvan Library. The fact that this matchup even exists is pretty fun, though. Like, Bant was not a defensible combo for a very long time in Legacy. Like, just those colors don't do what you need them to. But Oko and Veil of Summer have made green a good pair with blue again. Long ago in ancient times, Bant Countertop was a deck. Like, it was like a tempo aggro deck. Yikes. Alright, come on, Supreme Verdict. You played Rock's Warmonk in that deck, and then the counterbalance plus Sensei's Top lock also. That was just like a real deck in the meta a couple years ago. Alright, so do they bother with Oko? Yes, okay. Supreme Verdict, dealer. Alright, Ponder. is a good look. Snapcaster Mage Teferi. What does Teferi do? Teferi could bounce Sylvan Library. Snapcaster Mage does what? I already have a Snapcaster Mage. None of these are Supreme Verdict, so I'm just gonna shuffle it away. I'm gonna Ponder again. Ponder sees the most cards, and I'm looking for something specific. And it's not those cards. I did play another island last turn, so Carpet of Flowers makes 2 again. Yikes. Alright, so they're now the Monarch, on top of everything else that's already going on. Yeah, the Carpet was really strong. Their ability to cast Stoneforge Mystic, find Jitte, and cast Jitte all at the same time in that one turn was just the whole game. Alright, and now we're dead. Alright, this league's off to a rocky start. Our opponent is on a similar plan to us, just instead of Mentor, they had Stoneforge Mystic and Delver. So that's really interesting. Stoneforge Mystic certainly qualifies as a powerful 2-drop, like I was saying about Coatl at the beginning of this league. So, yeah, definitely if you want to get lower to the ground, what my opponent was doing last game is something you could do. I'll keep this hand. This has a lot to like going on. Our first appearance of Sevine's Reclamation. A Bayou. OD, baby. We are playing against none other than Nic Fit. One of my dear friends invented this deck. Alright, we found the Swords to Plowshares. I'm going to put back one of these Mentors and this Supreme Verdict, probably. No, I'll put back Reclamation. That makes more sense, I think. Splat. The crazy thing about this playing against this deck is that we have so many basics that Veteran Explorer will ramp us also. Wall Therapy. Alright. Naming what? Probably Brainstorm in the dark. Oh, they named Force of Will in the dark. Alright, that's a good one too. So I could run Mentor out there, or I could play Astrolabe and try to dig for additional action. What happens if I shove Mentor? They can just Abrupt Decay it. Whatever. They know about it already from Cabal Therapy. I don't want to let them just flash back for free. Or if they draw another one. And if they don't have an answer to this right now, like Astrolabe will get cranking. We'll get some monks into play. I think running out the Explorer on turn 1 was a mistake. Like, I think you play that, like, all at the same time on turn 2. Like, you therapy, then you explore, then you flashback. Oh, crop rotation. Are they some sort of Nic Fit Merit Lage deck? Oh no, they just needed white mana. Alright. Alright, let's see how they can handle an Oko. Alright, they know about the Supreme Verdict. So if they draw a Explorer, they can flashback for full value. Ooh, Questy. That's a good card to have right now. Kinda, I guess. Nice. Alright, so... I'm going to Supreme Verdict. I'm just deciding if I'm going to play my land. Well, I'm going to play my land. Alright, that just leaves me with Brainstorm in hand. Yeah, that's fine. It's a pretty good one-card hand. Their hand's probably like multiple 6-drops. When you can break up their Explorer, a lot of the cards in their deck stop functioning. Ooh. They almost always name Brainstorm in the dark. So I'm going to respect that they might know what they're doing and just cast my Brainstorm. Alright, so now they're not going to get anything off the therapy, and then I'm going to untap and have Force of Will available. So unless they jam something unbeatable right now with their 3 mana, like Pernicious Deed isn't even that great here. Oh, Birthing Pod, my god. That's fun. I guess the question is, do I turn it into an elk or do I just attack them? Like, I could just elk their pod. That's probably the safest thing to do. But then that turns on their therapies. Whatever. I'll just elk my Astrolabe, bring the beats. I know my top card is Spell Pierce. I almost certainly don't want that. I can force whatever creature they play to try to pod. Alright, they're just done. Oko too good. Okay, so Birthing Pod makes me think I want Containment Priest in my deck. Rest in Peace is pretty solid against them. They have a lot of graveyard shenanigans. The therapies, the explorers. This is probably good. This is probably good. I feel like Return to Nature just in case. Like sometimes they have big wonky enchantments that you can't really beat. Force Negation's probably medium. Veil of Summer is awfully good against Cabal Therapy. Alright, so if I'm bringing in Rips, I need to cut some of my graveyard stuff. They're not really casting instants in their deck anyway. See, do I need this Gideon, I guess? Probably not. I have Mentor. That's just a better Gideon. And Spell Pierce is probably also not a great card. Alright, let's do this. Alright, I'm going to keep this hand. I got Astrolabe, and I got Rest in Peace. Unfortunately, us being on the draw means that the Rest in Peace won't be in time to break up a Therapy plus Explorer. Alright, they did not have it yet. Let's see if they learn from last game and do it all in one turn this time. Like, I think you just, like, Therapy, name Force of Will, cast your Explorer, then Flashback, get something for real, get your ramp on. The funny thing, though, is if they make that play, I get to search for 2 basics, and I can brainstorm in response to their Therapy. I'll just nothing, pass. So now I have the decision, do I just jam this rip, or do I hold up Brainstorm? I'm going to hold up the Brainstorm, because there's only one Snapcaster Mage in my deck, and it's in my hand. So if I can get some value out of my Snap before I nuke the graveyards, that would be pretty cool. They're also on a Multi 5 over there, and they haven't done anything yet, so I'm not sure what they kept. Alright, Veil of Summer, happy to see you. That's a lot of extra lands I can get rid of. Veil of Summer is such a dumb card. Why would they print that? So I gotta watch out for, like, Choke, I guess. That's a card they could have. Alright, so I'm just gonna Snap Brainstorm in this end step if they don't do anything else. And then I can Rest in Peace with Veil of Summer up to counter Abrupt Decay. Feels good to say that, counter Abrupt Decay. Alright, looks like it's go time. Something's happening. Kasali Pride Mage. Okay. This is end step Brainstorm I promised. Playing the rip into the Kasali might have been whack, but protecting my Astrolabe might be important also. I'm not sure. I might have just messed that up. We'll see. This Mentor's probably going to be really good next turn regardless. Alright, the race is on. They're currently winning the race, but I have a lot of ways to change that. so I think it's mentor time. Veil of Summering and Abrupt Decay with Monastery Mentor in play might be my favorite thing on Earth. Let's hope that happens right now. Alright, not yet. So I can fetch Savannah with this, which is I think is going to be the right one. I will take my beats. Alright, let's see some fireworks. I'll force some action here, one way or the other. I plow this, they'll probably blow up something in response. Trophy in response. Skadoosh. Oh, this stack is so large. Alright, so they blew up my Rest in Peace. And then I Veil of Summered their trophy. I suspect it would be hard to lose from here, but it could happen. Alright, now it mostly can't happen. I think, like, technically speaking, they should have let more of that stack resolve before they destroyed my Rest in Peace, because they could have made sure Veil of Summer wasn't in my graveyard. Alright, and they're just dead. At no point did they trigger a Veteran Explorer, and at no point were they close to winning a game. Those two things are directly related. The thing about filling your deck with busted 5 and 6 drops in Legacy is that if you can't enable them, you're going to lose. And Nic Fit can be powerful, but it is definitely susceptible to having its setup disrupted. Alright, last match. We're finally on the board. Let's see what we got here. Another 0-lander. Alright, this one's fine. Alright, opponent's also on 6. I'm going to put Supreme Verdict on the bottom, because that card costs 4, and we're very far away from casting it. Savannah. Double Swords to Plowshares is a good hand against most decks that start with Savannah. I would really like to draw Flooded Strand right now, though. Alright, so now we have to fetch the Tundra, as we could fetch the Savannah, but we have to get a non-basic is what I'm saying to cast this Plow, and that opens us up to Wasteland. Like, every deck with Savannah also has Wasteland. That's just life. Maybe Savannah's better because it casts Oko, but Savannah doesn't cast Brainstorm, so there's pros and cons to all of them. Ooh. There's some sort of Naya Maverick deck. I'm gonna ponder this turn. Yeah, Teferi would be really good if I had another land to go with him, but I don't. Unfortunately, the best target for Spell Pierce in their whole deck is probably already in play. So they're gonna, like, draw 3 cards right now. Yep, they kept them all. There's the wasteland. We're fucked. Alright, so you're saying there's a chance. We found a land and a way to dig farther into the deck. So with the card draw off the Coatl, we will get through the Brainstorm cards. So there's a chance to find another land. We have Force of Will and Plow. So we have some answers. And Wasteland is still the worst thing they can do to us. Shit. Get my snake out there. It always feels really bad with your deck with like 9 basic lands in it when you lose to Wasteland, but sometimes that's how it happens. Alright, I'm not going to force the Swords to Plowshares on my snake that already drew a card. Elvish Reclaimer. Is this worth a force? Probably. Pretty far off from casting that Oko, so I'm just going to pitch it. Alright, we really need just land off the top here. Bummer. Alright, so because we were unable to fetch basics, we're now way behind. Which is where these decks want to put you, so that's not surprising. Please cast something I can Spell Pierce. It's unlikely, but I'm allowed to hope. Oh god, we're so dead. Alright, I need to find basic planes off the top. Oh no. My opponent just said they have to leave for a few minutes, so I will I'll pause this recording while we get to look at this Reanimator excavator. That's gonna kill me. Anyway, basically, like, basic planes off the top, or, like, you know, Flooded Strand, like some route to a basic planes is what I'm looking for, because then I can plow, and Savine's Reclamation can get back lands. So if I can, like, get up to 3 lands, get back another fetch, like, we might still have a game here. Alright, opponent's back. Time to draw planes. If we can run lands, we're still okay here. Yikes, not that one. I'm not even going to play it because they could just play the Wasteland out of their graveyard and pick it off for basically free. I think my best sequence of draws here is Astrolabe off the top, and it cantrips into another basic land. Yikes. What the fuck? Basic planes. Alright, there's the Astrolabe. Let's find the basic land off it. Alright, it wasn't basic, but gotta do what we gotta do here. Let's run the last roll. Legacy staple. Yeah, Mentor crushes decks like this. You just need to, you know, have lands and Mentor. Alright, so they sequence that perfectly. Land. Alright. Got another land. Let's keep this party going. Just keep drawing lands. Unless at some point I'll have to draw something else, but for now. Is this a Zenith for 3? Can I spell pierce it? Yes. Get out of here. We found a use for spell pierce this late in the game against this 4-color Maverick pile. Come on, land. Ooh, Ice Vein Coatl might be even better than a land. This can kill Thrun. They can regenerate it, but like, let's see if they cast a main phase spell. Alright, so I get my basic forest. Surprise Snake. Got the basic plains also. Death Touch Snake. Wow, they didn't regenerate. What's their plan? Why didn't they regenerate? Am I dead somehow? Loaming, 2 wastelands, and a fetch land. Okay. I don't super care about that. Alright, another snake. So I could reclamation a land back into play. I think I'd rather just hold up this snake. Snake and plow. That covers most of what this deck is capable of. Like if they just like end step crop rotation, make a Merit Lage or whatever, like, sure. Dark Confidant, I got that covered. Remember last turn when they didn't regenerate Thrawn? Alright, I have that also covered. Surprise Snake. Plow. I think I want to Astrolabe. Like I could Astrolabe and then plow from hand or snap plow, but I drew a land so I can still just snap plow. Bajuka Bog's already in play, so I'm not super worried about getting crop rotated in response here. Remember when we were never winning this game and now we're like pretty far ahead? They had their boots pretty hard on our throat and we just, they were unable to push when they were ahead, and now we're just right back in it. I mean, we haven't like won yet by any stretch. They clearly are a Dark Depths deck because they have Thespian Stage. So they could just produce a 20/20 at any time, and we got to watch out for that. And they have Loam active, so whatever their engine is, it's available to them. I'm going to reclaim my Coatl. Alright, Savine's Reclamation officially in action for the first time. Ooh, Field of the Dead. That one's going to be tough to beat. So if they cast Loam, play Field, they get one zombie. Wait, they scooped? Didn't they just, like, win the game? They Loam this back, they play Field, they get a 2-2, and then... I don't know. I feel like that was about to get interesting. Okay, so... we definitely want Rest in Peace against this deck. Supreme Verdict seems pretty good, too. They did have black mana for something. It's not sure what it is. Extraction's probably good. I like Jailer against this sort of deck too, just like playing fair. Obviously Blood Moon is great. Alright, so Force of Will, less excited about. Maybe one Supreme Verdict is enough, and I'll just lean on the Plows. Alright, so shave on the graveyard stuff because we're bringing in Rips. I like Force of Negation because they showed me Loam. Though, if we're bringing in the Rest in Peace and the Surgicals, maybe that's less important. So, I'll cut that, yeah. It's not the best. I like every Swords to Plowshare is available. Mentor's good. Oko's good. Teferi's good. Right, one less force. It's probably Jace or Mentor that I want to cut here. Field of the Dead makes this pretty interesting. Because, like, against this sort of deck, you used to be able to just Jace them out. Like, no matter what they were doing, you just plus Jace and they'd eventually lose. But Field of the Dead changes that math a lot. But Mentor kind of dumpsters their Maverick side of their deck, but Jace is better against the land side of their deck. So that's actually... it's pretty tough. It's tougher than I want it to be. Alright, I'll get rid of Jace since we're on the draw. That's a 4-mana card. Let's play it like so. Alright, this one... it's a bit of a gamble. Like, if I hit land number 2, I have my draw step, my Astrolabe plus my draw step. I'm going to keep this. It's pretty 3-drop heavy, but if I hit a land, I'll be alright. In 3 looks. Alright, there's Mom. Alright, that'll help me hit my lands. Maybe I'm supposed to get Forest there, just out of respect for Choke. Because if I have Astrolabe, it doesn't matter. Oh, I drew Forest. Still doesn't matter. Alright, so they have Mom now. We're going to have to work through that. Library, sure. I will spend a turn destroying Library with Return to Nature. That card's too good. Our advantage against these green decks is that we see more cards than them, and if they're also seeing cards, then we lose that advantage. Land? Mentor. Alright, so I think I want to brainstorm here. Alright, so what does this do? This gets rid of one of the Teferis and one of the Mentors, I think. So I'm not gonna just jam Astrolabe here, because I have a number of lands in my deck that are not islands. That's interesting. Alright, I've been bogged. You got me. Alright, so I'm going to get Savannah because it is not an island. And if they Ghost Quarter it, I'll get my Plains, which is also not an island. Alright, I can play Astrolabe here. Mostly I'm just really hoping that they equip this Mother of Runes with Jitte and attack me, and then my Coatl can eat it. That unlocks all my removal and everything. Reclaimer. Bummer. That's a good card. Alright. So I don't have anything else to fetch with this. This is already in play. My Plains is my only non-island left in the deck. So I could play Teferi and bounce Jitte. Not sure if that's actually helpful though. Could bounce Choke. That's definitely not helpful. Oko makes green Elks, so Mother of Runes can still get through it. Alright, so now I'm probably in some trouble. I might have to just like Suicide Spew some cards here to get value. Alright, so cast a Fairy. Wear Tear was a good find. Like my life total is not under huge threat right now. Jitte makes that very different, but I need to get out from under this choke to play this game. Alright, so I can cast Ponder and still wear. Yes, I'll shuffle that. I think going to discard is better than just randomly surgically extracting their Windswept Heaths. Yeah, I'll discard one of these Okos. Okay, so they're getting aggro. Bob, that's a good card. we have mana. Let's see what we can do with it. We can... I think I have one Supreme Verdict in my deck. Yeah. I should have brought in the other one. The way that this game is played out definitely is a different thing than last game. Alright, so... I'm just going to try to go to Monktown. Try to get some value here. Wow, I get to spell pierce something. I'm so excited right now. I hope they minus their Jitte in response and I can extract to save the Mentor. Oh, that's me. Alright, they're doing it. Let the first one resolve. Respond to the second one. Let's make sure they don't have any more chokes in their deck. Oh, they have Lightning Bolt in their hand? That's a good card. Let's look at this deck. This is certainly a pile of Magic cards. Alright, so they have one Pyroblast, two Lightning Bolts, Sigarda, Host of Herons. My god. A Zealous Persecution, two Thalias, one Mox Diamond. Okay. One Exploration. This is almost a Highlander deck. Okay. Well, they have Lightning Bolt in their hand. That's good to know. Makes sense why they got super aggro on me a second ago. And then Ponder resolves after all of that. I'm not going to shuffle my library. Another Ponder is just what I'm looking for. Mother of Runes is still a huge problem, though. Gonna need a Supreme Verdict to get out of this. Alright, Wooded Foothills, cast the Lightning Bolt. Mentor's dead. The attack step will be kind of interesting. I'm going to triple block. Oh wait, no, they can Ghost Quarter to make this just a giant creature. And then they don't even have to activate Mom. That's rough. That fetch land draw was good. Alright, fine. I'll take my one. Alright, so they're just picking off monks aggressively here. Mentor. I'm going to turn Jitte into an elk. Still kind of under the gun here, but if I can get another untap step with Mentor, it might be okay. My top card is Island. We know that. Field of the Dead. 1, 2, 3, 4. Not even close. Okay. A little bit of ways before we're worried about that. Thespian Stage with Reclaimer in play. All right. So they're producing Merit Lage right now, basically. So I'm going to have to work through this somehow. I need to find like Swords to Plowshares and also get rid of Mother of Runes. Alright, we found Swords to Plowshares. Alright, so Mother of Runes is going to protect herself. Pro blue, okay. Get in with my monks and my mentor. So they're gonna sacrifice in response to make that'll grow the Reclaimer and also get the Dark Depths. Alright, let's see if they go for it or if they wait until they have Mom available. Alright, they're just going for it. Alright, this game's getting weird. They're now at 35, but they're under some serious monk pressure. Oh, they're just packing it up. Alright, navigated that one. That was tight. So that's the deck. We did certainly get dumpstered by 2 fast combo decks in this particular league. I think that Blackroad Reanimator is mostly a fine matchup, but our opponent had it. What are you going to do? And Sneak and Show is probably one of the tougher ones, but I'd rather be this kind of deck than like full Miracles against Sneak and Show, because you can pressure more meaningfully. Teferi's really good against them. We got a lot of interesting games. We played against 3 fair matchups in a row, so lots of good decisions to make there. Savine's Reclamation only got to cast it once, but it's probably a good card. We certainly lost to it once as well. So thanks for watching. Make sure to hit that sub button if you enjoyed the video, and follow me on Twitter at BoschandRoll. Happy to talk about my videos whenever. Thanks for watching.